Hello my friends, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to this month's Mad About Mini Paper Pads. On the third Saturday of every month, we come to you using some of our 6x6, 6x8, 2x2, all of those smaller paper pads, 4x6, and even some cut-aparts from either 6x8s or, some journaling cards. So what better for me, and I've told you about this before, I'm starting my sort of listing this year to record some of those smaller stories. So for my own scrapbooking, as I've mentioned to you before, I'm doing 6x8 albums, mainly through Miranda's 52 Favorite Photos of Everyday Life, that project that I'm doing on Mondays, as well as some lists of certain things that I would like to record, like in the news or this happened last month, glimmers, which I've talked to you about in another video, and probably a few things about my reading and watching and tennis. So I've started my sort of notebook here, and I did this list with you, and then I did this list with you. So today we're going to have a look. I'm going to do this in two parts. I'm going to start telling you what I've chosen, and then I'll go away and get a little bit of it done and come back and finish it with you. So, my glimmers. Now, I have this side here, and I think this might stay the way it is, and I'm going to keep this for some reading information about some challenges that I'm doing this month with a group that I follow, and some sprints that I do on Sundays, Killing Time with Cozy. So I'll talk to you more about that when I get to it. So I'm looking at these two pages, and I sort of decided this listing thing a little bit late in the month. So for my first sort of in the news and about last month or monthly highlights are a little bit slim for these first entries. So I'm not sure yet whether I'm going to do a double page for both of them, or whether I'll just do single pages. But I have a collage here of a few things. Taking Mum, one of the sort of highlights of the month was taking Mum to the audiologist, and we're going to be getting her some hearing aids. You saw me record this, my new Christmas Eve tradition, our elves working on Christmas Eve. I'll probably record also our first snowfall and talk a little bit about how basically we got a white Christmas, but then within a couple of days it had all melted. So there aren't that many highlights from December either that I can remember, because I didn't note anything down, of course, because at that point I was just, listing was just an idea in my head. And then in the news, I think what stands out to me, and I'm sure I've missed other things, but definitely what stands out to me is the Canada Post strike. We're still feeling the effects of that, although they are back at work at least until May. Things are going very, 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 very slowly. Freeland resignation, and now in January there is all sorts of fallouts from that. And then, of course, at the very end of the month, Jimmy Carter died at 100 years old. So I want to do those two pages. Now, I have here, this is some Storyteller cut-aparts that I've cut apart. I'm not sure whether I would use any of those in my listing, but I brought them here anyway. I have some Storyteller papers, 6x8 papers here, and I have Print Shop here as well, which I want to use. So now I'm thinking for, this is pretty much what I chose for this one for my monthly highlights. This would be sort of the page here with my photo. And I'll see whether I'm thinking I might want to just map this in this. We're not going to see that these are hearts, but it's going to brighten up the photo a little bit, and it's going to bring in a bunch of different colors. So I may use this to map my photo. I could maybe use it for this photo as well. We'll see. I'm not quite sure, but I think I will map my photo on this, put this on this side, and then come over here and do my listing on here. Now you see here I did use a pattern paper for my listing, whereas on my first list I went a little bit more the way Lael does on her listing videos. But I think I might do this one, and then I could maybe for my stamping, because now remember I talked to you about, and I did do a small order from Lael by Mail, and I did get these list builder, the bullets, because as I mentioned to you in a previous video, I don't really have a lot of small stamps, and this one seemed like it had a lot of things that I could use. A lovely little hibiscus, my favorite flower, so I could definitely use that. Some leaves, another little flower tree, some animals, so tea, lots and lots. I don't know that I will need another one. I was between the Bullets and More 3 and 2, so we'll see. But I think this for now, I'm going to just keep going with this. I did get another stamp set, which is sort of in between all the ones that I showed you, Reggie Alpha, and I chose this one for the size. I love the font, and Reggie is a cat, so definitely had to choose that one. And then I got this one, which I think for now will be sufficient for me to do my In the News and also About Last Month. So instead of getting the About Last Month stamp set, this one here has monthly highlights, what happened. I could also just do what happened in and then the month. In the news in a couple of different sizes and fonts. So I think this will be sufficient for now. Okay, so I have those. So I think that is what I am going to do for this one. And then for this, let's see here. This is Print Shop. Ooh, do I want some of the green? That could be nice. Using this, I'm using 6x8. I really do like that. I don't think I would use anything there. Oh, some more green here. This might be fun. Now, let's see. Could I use this together with this, or would that maybe be a little bit too much? Maybe. Let's keep looking. Maybe. No, that's too pale. Don't want to use these. Oh, would this be nice? Ah, maybe bring this instead. How about that? With that. I think I might like that. I think I might like that. I love, love, love this paper, but I want to use it for something else. Would I use this maybe for the... I did enjoy listing on that, but they're really... We'll see. I've used it already, so I might keep it for a little bit later in the book. Oh, that might be nice instead of this. No. Let's stay with that. I don't think I would use this. No. Okay, you know what, my friends? I do think I'm going to use these two. I'm going to use these two, and then I am going to use some white or whipped cream cardstock. All right, so let me go and get these ready, and then I will come back and we'll do some decorating. I don't know if I'll be writing on camera. I'm still getting used to this whole thing, so I'm definitely going to do some decorating with you, but I'm not sure that I will do any of the writing with you on camera just yet until I'm a little bit more used to it. So let me go off, get ready, and I will come back and we will work on this together. See you in a sec. Okay, so I did a little bit more of this off camera than I thought I would, but we'll come back and sort of finish this together. So I have my photo that I matted here, and it takes up quite a bit of real estate, so I'm not going to do an awful lot. I'll come back to this page that I basically did totally off camera, but I do want to bring a little bit of that over onto this side, so I think I'll bring that in like that. And then I have these two, which were just the branding strip, which I think I will pop behind. That will bring in a little bit of the golden yellow, and that might be all I do. So I think I'm going to do this. And now, do I want this on this side or on this side? I'm not sure that it really matters, quite frankly, but I think I'm going to just pop that there. Bring this over a little bit. There we go. There we go. So then I have this down there, and then we'll put that a little bit more so that I can put that here. I'm really I mean, obviously I have not been doing I haven't been doing this for a very long time, but I'm actually really enjoying this type of memory keeping. It surprises me a little bit. I didn't know that I would really get into the listing all that much, but I really do enjoy that it allows me to write those little snippets down of things that I could easily forget, that are fun to recall, that definitely don't need a 12 by 12 or really even a 6 by 8, but that are definitely fun to recall. So there we go. Let's just pop that one over, I think, to be at about the same spot. There we go, and there we go. I'm not sure this is going to really need anything else. I think I'm just going to leave it at that, because again, the idea about this is snippets of everyday little lists of things that I would like to remember. I'm not much of a journaler or a diary keeper. Every few years I would try again, and I would, you know, do it on and off for a few months, or maybe do it once a week or something like that. So I'm not really much of a journaler, but this type of thing, concentrating it on sort of highlights from the previous months. Now, the December is lacking a little bit because I didn't make any notes throughout the month. So I'm going to see in January if I can make sure that I make some notes of both in the news and my sort of everyday little things that I would like to record in a list. But I'm happy still with what I have here. So I took this piece of paper, and I did use, one of the things I'm quite happy about is I used all of these stamps. So you can see I used the monthly highlights. Then I used the Reggie Alphas to put December 2024. My stamping still needs a little bit of work. I do stamp standing up, so I don't think I'm ready to come and stamp on here with you, but we will work up to that. And then, of course, I use these lovely little bullets. I just used a check mark here for my little list. I went in and I got this stamp from Stampin' Up, and I'll keep that around because I liked the idea of putting monthly highlights sort of in a circle, which is exactly what I did. So I stamped my monthly highlights in Stampin' Up! Baja Breeze, and then I used Midnight Muse, and I inked the entire edge of this paper in Midnight Muse. And then I used the smaller little circle here to just add, because I felt it needed a little something more, but not too much. I put a couple of stickers to just sort of finish off this area, because again, the idea is not to over embellish this, or it's to make something kind of cute and pretty with bits on my desk, using my 6x8 papers and getting a list down. So a category that I will probably keep every month, because I don't tend to record a lot about it, and I don't tend to scrapbook an awful lot about Mum anymore. Of course, I scrapbook the big move and sort of the larger things, but there are things that I think for me, I would like to get down on a list and maybe remember, and I'm going to call that Parenting My Parent, because that is something that Lael brought up in one of her lives, and other people were talking about it, and I think that describes it perfectly. I'm a natural caregiver, yes. I'm her daughter, yes. But really, when it gets to this point, and probably in my case has been for a few years now, it really, really is like parenting your parent, but with the difficulties of it actually being your parent brings along. So I just recorded here that, you know, we had the audiologist on the December 5th to finally get Mum some hearing aids. And then December 30th was our regular eye clinic. There are probably other things that I could report here, like finally, after 2 or 3 years, Mum did go down and she went to the Christmas party and the New Year's Eve party, so the lunch, and stayed for some of the music. That might be a story that's a little bit of one of those, you know, for me, because the last couple of years we would run from work. He'd take me to Mum so that I could get her ready and dressed and washed and everything so that she would go to the party. Then he would come and pick me back up, and she never would go. It was always when it was time to go. She wasn't hungry. She didn't feel well. She just didn't want to do it. And I have a feeling this year, if I had gone, it would have been the same thing. So this year I just let it go. I didn't go. I didn't bring it up or anything. And then I got home at night and she called me all excited about having gone to the party. And I think one of the orderlies that gets along very well with Mum, and she is actually brilliant, she convinced her, she's a little bit of a, you know, this is what you're going to do. And oddly enough, that kind of works with Mum in a good way. So she went, she enjoyed it. She spent the next day in bed because she was exhausted, having gone downstairs twice in the day, sort of had a little bit of a party, but she went, and that made me very, very happy. So I haven't recorded that here. But I think I might do that in one of my 6x8s. I talk about our first real snowfall here, which was on the 23rd, which I've talked to you about before. That gave us a lovely white Christmas, but then it all melted and we got abnormally high temperatures between Christmas and New Year's, and it all melted. I added chocolate to my Christmas Eve tradition. I didn't say anything more here because I've recorded it in my 6x8. And then the La Prunette elves did an amazing job. And the thing I want to remember this year is, in addition to the headgear, and unfortunately I don't have that on the photo, which is kind of silly, but at least if I've written it down, I'll remember it. This year they all wore Christmas pajama bottoms as well as the festive headgear. So there you go. So let me get that down. Oh, and then of course, hang on, ran out of glue. Okay, there we go. And then I think I need to bring this even a little closer in so that really the end of this sticks in properly. So there we go. So that's got these sort of monthly highlights. Now, the one thing I think I might want to get, because I think so far I'm pretty happy with what I have here, that it will be sufficient to do my listing with the other stamps that I've already shown you. The one thing perhaps that I might like to buy is a stamp that has all of the months. Now, I went to look at the Lail by Mail website, and she has a couple. One that I really, really liked, unfortunately, was 2022, 23, and 24, so there's no 25, 26. And then there is one that has the months of the year with 24, 25, and 26, but I sort of like the other one better. So we'll see. I'm just going to think on that for a little bit, but I do think that would be a nice thing to add. And then I'm not going to do this with you. I'm just going to sort of set it up and show you where I'm going with this. But this is going to be my in the news, and I'm going to pop this over on this side. And again, it's going to be for December. So I'm not quite sure. I'm going to do the in the news stamps for sure. But then again, the month, I may try and use one of the smaller stamps that I have. So let's pop this here. And then I'm just going to pop this in here. And I'm just going to put it like this because I may go back and do a little bit of embellishing, you know, adding maybe a couple of tabs or something like that. Very, very little. Then I want to bring this over onto this side. Now, when you look at that quickly, you say, oh my God, that's sort of like a lot of dots and they're a little bit different. But then I'm thinking I'm going to pop this in the middle right here and pop that on top here to actually do my list. So these are from Print Shop. So I've used some Storyteller and some Print Shop. And now I might, would I want to put that down here? I don't think so. I don't think so, but I do think I like that. So I am going to put this down. Or would I do that? No. I am going to put that down. It's going to be a little eclectic, but, you know, this is the kind of project also that you can do some playing, get those papers out and stamps, and I'm really enjoying using my stamps a lot more, so that has really been fun so far. All right, so let me do that. And then let me just put these down, this down here, because I'm going to do my stamping and my list on this. Because again, in December, and I'm going to pop that right there, because again, in December, I'm sure there's a lot more in the news, but I sort of wasn't in the frame of mind of listing and I wasn't thinking of it. So again, this month, oh my God, this month there's just so much going on. Enough said about that. But anyway, so I will definitely have a lot more of a list at the end of January. So there we go. So there you go, my friends. So a listing video and my Mad About mini paper pads for this month. I will alternate. The Mad About mini paper pads every month will not necessarily be only listing. I'm going to do some 12 by 12s as well. I'm going to mix it up, some 6 by 8s, 12 by 12s, and some lists. But to kick off Mad About mini paper pads this month, I am doing my listing and I am really having fun with it. I will see you back here very, very soon. Everyone who's playing along with Mad About mini paper pads will be listed down below. And this I think is turning out to be a longer video than I wanted it to, but thanks for sticking with me. Thanks for all your support on this new project. Am I sort of giving any of you ideas or thoughts about starting this kind of project? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you back here very, very soon. Thanks for being here. Bye for now.